Okay, so you've got a violin now. Zixo is back at the mayoral mansion, tapping his foot impatiently. Adrik is striding up with his horses. Rede is still zombieing out and not connecting with the world yet. That's where we're at.
All right, let's get the show on the road.
Oh, you chintzy fuckers! That wasn't free at all.
We never said it was free.
I'm also glaring at Zixo's. We each owe 25 gold by the end of this. Here's a horse for you.
No. Okay, yeah, for you guys. I bought my mount with my own money earlier.
Yeah, fair enough. So here you go, Rede. Here you go, Dretan. Here you go, me.
Remember to get food for them. Oh, well, actually, horses can eat by the road. Forget it.
Yeah.
Why do I have a donkey?
Why do you have a donkey? Because I got you a donkey. Now get on it. Or you can walk.
It's the same speed as his horse.
Yeah, but it's the stature of it.
Mm-hmm. Why do you think I picked it?
Seen riding into town on a donkey?
Well, just so you know, I still have to look up to you.
Dretan, I do not want to be seen riding into town on a donkey. I understand. That's why you're riding the donkey into town. Now, come on.
You're not going to.
Dretan, just make sure that he follows you, so it looks like you're leading into town.
It's perspective.
Adrik, you're not sleeping well tonight. I take the bridle and just start walking towards the gate.
I don't think electricity is a thing yet, but I like where we're going with this.
I'm looking for outline. I haven't found anything that looks directly like what. Actually, never mind. I found it. No, never mind. That's a guitar. Never mind. The guitars do it. Kind of at. I think at about this point, as they're kind of heading towards the exit of the town, Rede kind of looks up and says, well, he just kind of looks up. He doesn't really say anything, but he kind of glances northwards, because if I had to make a guess, this is probably the road he came in by, so he kind of knows where he is, and his eyes are kind of straying in the direction they shouldn't be, because it's the opposite of direction of where we would be going.
Okay.
Definitely preoccupied.
By the way, if you have arachnophobia, do not Google spider violin.
Well, guess what I'm Googling?
Why would you Google spider violin?
Because Dretan told me to.
That's the description of what I was getting. Remember the design was like had like spider
webs.
Ooh, hey Dretan, I think if you want to be an edgelord, I think I found the violin for you.
I told you I'm not that much of an edgelord.
Well,
okay, so Rede, you were preoccupied. You were doing what now? You were looking which way?
He's looking more towards the north. So if we're leaving, if we're going to be leaving Altmore Cove, he's going to be looking towards sort of that right hand path that's heading more towards the northeast direction. Which if he had come from Edrithia originally, that's really I saw that one. That's the direction he would have come down. So he's kind of looking back up there and kind of seems to be weighing things over.
That thing's acoustics would suck ass.
No, that's an electric violin.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you guys head out of the town, heading along the road, as directed by the mayor. I guess you travel. We can sort of fast forward because this is a pretty well settled area immediately around Altmore Cove on this road. It's traveled. It's the major thoroughfare between Edrithia and Oostengard, and it's within sort of the Edrithian military's circumference of influence. So it's pretty well guarded, and you're not up to that forest edge yet, where most of the problems would be from bandits or monsters or whatnot. So you travel. First day goes uneventfully. You can choose to make camp, go through the night. What do you guys want to do?
How far do we get?
Yeah, how far did we get?
You have probably to Falstead. You have another 4 days.
I think taking camp here and resting for the night would be a good idea. After all, I'm still a little beat up from that night of partying and celebrating.
Maybe not quite that far. Whoever made the X.
All right.
I
I agree with that.
This is more difficult terrain. It's sort of the foothills, the up and down, a little bit more windy. Once you reach that fork in the road, there's a well-known area, an inn that you can rest at, and from there to Falstad is a quicker route.
Okay. And we can't get to the inn tonight, right? So
No, you're about halfway there.
We'll have to hold off then.
yeah, we might as well travel in the light when there's less danger. We'll need to find a good spot to hide in, guys. I would again like to try and cover our tracks into that hiding spot.
I'm okay with that.
Reed's just going to kind of follow along.
Okay. Go ahead, roll a stealth, whoever wants to do the hiding of the tracks.
Doing it.
I want to assist him.
Okay.
$16.
Okay. And the assist? Are you just...
No,
just
that-
assisting? Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. All right. You successfully hide the tracks pretty well, to your estimation, and you guys go back in this little... a little hollow in a copse of trees that's out of the way of the road, and you set up your camp there.
Fire tonight or not?
I mean, I can conjure up a bonfire in a second. Is that really what we want to do?
We're still fairly safe looking area, so I think that'd be okay. Your thoughts?
I would say let's make a very small fire if you want to do a quick fire and get some food.
I'm okay with that. Just something.
I would like Pip, my pseudo dragon, to take a scouting look around though.
Okay. How far do you want to go out?
I want to do a spiral. I want to start closest, start going out as we're preparing the camp. So have her do an hour's worth of flight.
Okay.
In stealth.
Okay. She's able to fly up, and in the dim evening light, she's able to stay stealthed and sort of do a circuit around. And as she's going, she's telepathically communicating with you, letting you know of a small game or this copse of trees up ahead, or whatnot, different birds in the sky.
Right. Her search radius would be 1 mile.
Okay. So there's no other humanoids or any immediate threats in the area.
Okay, I'll have her come back, and she's been resting all day, so I'm going to have her stay up all night doing watch, along with all the rest of us. But she'll be up all night, and she has advantage on her perception.
Adrik will make a point of taking his armor off.
Okay.
He's been just stiff and not terribly happy, so he's been a bit short with his throughout the day. Take that off.
Okay.
And Reed will do the same.
And
he's going to be, he's been taciturn all day. There's been no talking, no engaging in merriment, especially no singing if Dretan's tried to start that.
Okay.
And then he'll just kind of find a spot on the side.
Zixo's a little bit worried about this. No, although he knows it's wrong, he's going to, at the side, cast Detect Thoughts, and just for a second, touch on Reed's thoughts to see what's troubling him.
Just add a... one second. Detect Thoughts doesn't have a saving throw, huh?
Only if I bore deep, so this would be your very surface thoughts.
So Reed, his thoughts are going a mile a minute. Like, they're circling around the same type of ideas, though. Depending on how long you sit and watch, you're going to see the same type of ideas going up. And it's going to be kind of all points on that vision he had, interspersed with glimpses of a letter. So you're going to see, what appears to be like a home. You're going to see family for a second.
Families,
kids.
okay.
And then all of a sudden, you're going to see bodies on the floor. There's going to be a fire. And then there's going to be a few moments where there's just nothing, where he's just kind of staring off in distance, and it's going to kind of start again.
Okay, that'll be enough. I won't press. I just wanted to touch upon and give me reason now to understand what's going on. Okay, I'm done with that.
Okay. All right, you guys are gathered around the fire. You've made camp.
Yep.
If you want to RP for a minute, you can. If not, we can advance it.
I will bring it up tonight. I'll say, Reed, I noticed you've been quiet and sort of withdrawn today. Is there anything that we can help you with?
He kind of sits back for a moment, and there's a moment where you're kind of staring at him, and he almost seems like withdraw. Like, there's a moment where it's almost like the one who has been kind of a little bit more forward and talking to people and things like that, he just kind of, you almost see him shut down. And then he pauses for any second, and he says, back in Altamore Cove, the church back there was the Church of the Protector, the god of families, of, I'm gonna have to go look up names.
Koromon.
Thank you. When we were there, I had gone to pay my respects and pay tithe. And he kind of pauses, and you can kind of see that this is, kind of hard for him to say. And he says, while I was there, I must have fallen asleep or something, because I saw a vision, and I'm unsure. The gods have never directly intervened, but this didn't... I wasn't tired enough to fall asleep, but I saw my home. I was back there. And while I was there, I saw my mother and I saw my father, and they were talking to one of my aunts, and it almost seemed as if she'd been attacked or abused, or I don't even understand. But I was just sent off as if I was a kid again. And as I had left, not understanding, I went and found my older siblings. I had found one of my older brothers, my older sisters. I mean, they're only a couple years older than me, but we've always been close, and I'd always been there to watch out for them. And in this,
Right, how far away is your home?
Well, it's in Edrithia. It's days and days, but at the end of this vision, the house was burning, and in a letter I had received from the mayor, things were not going well. But I can't think of... At the end of the vision, I was warned not to go home. I was warned to stay away. But I can't think of why the Protector...
If we can get to Falstead, and we can get to somebody, I can't do it yet, but somebody who can cast Ascending back to your hometown, we can get news.
You actually can see, like, Reed's fist clenches for a second. Like, there's a tensing from when he goes, I don't know if I can wait that long. We're 4 days out. That's another 5 days to get there at least. I can't think of why God would tell me this if I didn't need to move quickly.
Distress you. Cause grief and mischief.
Reed, roll an insight check.
Yeah, just saw it.
I'm sorry, guys. I overslept a little bit.
No problem.
You were on a...
Hey, Zyko.
Can I join in mid-game, or is it too late?
Yeah, they basically, you guys just all got woken up. The mayor sent off the guard to protect the bridge because there's a huge army of hobgoblins, and you guys have been tasked with traveling to the neighboring town of Falstead to, number one, warn them and get their garrison to come help Altamore Cove, and number two, because the mayor doesn't trust anybody else, to relay a message regarding how the First Empire came to attack him. Read your insight. Oh, that's right. Yeah. You are disadvantaged due to exhaustion. Yep, you are not insightful.
What is Psycho gonna be writing?
Right, so Psycho, do you want to spend 8 gold for a donkey, or do you want to spend 50 gold for a workhorse?
Or do you want to use one of your shape changes to change into something?
No, that only works for
an hour, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You could use all 3 of them.
For 3 hours? I think we're doing a bit more than 3 hours.
Yeah.
No. The higher your level, I'm pretty sure it lasts longer. I'm pretty sure the duration lasts half my druid level, so it'll be like 3 hours, I'm pretty sure, right now.
Oh, okay. So you could use all your shape changes for the day while you're traveling.
Yeah.
Or you can spend 8 gold for a donkey or a mule, or 50 gold for a riding horse or draft horse.
Reed, do you know the stories of Heracles?
History or religion?
What was that?
I asked him if he knew the story of Heracles, which I'm completely making up on the fly right now.
I know some history or religion.
Go ahead and do history.
He might.
Yeah, he probably would.
Well, he pauses for a second, and then he kind of shakes his head as if trying to, he being tired, trying to shake the fog, and he goes, I think I remember the basics, but it's been a long time since anybody told it to me.
He was a halfling who believed he was gifted by the gods. He traveled across the known world trying to spread the words that he believed the gods had told him. But everything that he said was turned out to be the opposite would come true. Great floods and disasters were met by calm days and good harvest. Eventually, he drove himself mad. Don't dwell on this vision of yours too hard. Sure, gods may intervene from time to time, but I doubt that a message sent when you visited a church would be so detrimental that if you weren't to go straight there, you would find disaster waiting for you.
He pauses for a moment, then he says, I think you're forgetting. We upset a dark god. And I have family at home.
We didn't.
And Reed's just going to look at you quizzically and then just kind of point off towards the mountain and says, if that's not a god, it's... I don't know what you can call that, but it's something that worries me.
It's referred to as a shade. During my time in Altmer Cove, I picked up a book on local folklores and other stories. No matter what you think, there's always a little bit of truth to these. Listed inside the book is a creature known as a shade, which matches up almost on par with what we encountered. It's no god. It has the ego of one, but whatever it has, it's not that. It may have a vendetta against you, but it is no primeval being.
The paladin doesn't look entirely convinced because he pauses for a second. He says, but as we were leaving, it was able to bring forth a host to send at us. What stops it from doing the same at my house?
Because it doesn't know who you are. It only knows what you look like.
Creatures of this sort can delve a little bit in your mind, I assume. There's plenty of stories of things being able to read minds, but I doubt it could garner all of your life's history in a single moment.
Reed kind of slowly nods and, looks into the fire for a few moments, piecing things together. And his hand reaches down into his pack for the letter that is, at this point, this is a thing that's been handled and touched, and you can see that this is something that he has been messing with for about the past 24 hours. And, that even comes to light as he brings up, this was just given to me. As I said, they were saying I should come back, that things are not going well. I don't know how fast I have to go. I guess I can wait, but
wouldn't a boat from Falstead to your home be quickest?
Reed thinks for that and says, maybe, but straight from here to there, it would be faster to go straight there. I suppose I can wait.
Adrik has been listening in, and upon hearing that he's starting to turn, I'd like to interject with, Rede, I'm not sure what you believe in or who you send your prayers to, but the gods don't always tell us things as a grand quest of our skills and to right the wrongs in the world. Sometimes they decide that it's best for us to know what's happening so we can make peace with what has happened.
This somber music just fits
know,
the mood
right?
so well.
This entire time.
Things aren't going to be as bad as you think, Rede. I'm starting to come at peace with it as well. And with that, I turn in for the night.
Okay.
I basically step away from whatever we had surrounded ourselves on and have put myself into my bedroll and I'm falling asleep.
Yeah, Adrik will just put his head back down and close his eyes, nod off after a few minutes.
I have not put my armor on as of yet.
Okay.
I took mine off a while ago, and I wanted to make a grand show of that so I don't magically get a second level.
Yeah, that would be bad.
I'm going to ask Pip to patrol at night in a steady patrol, a nice fast circle around a nice perimeter to make sure nobody's coming up on us unawares.
Okay.
And I'll curl up with Zoe, sort of over by Rede to make sure he's okay.
And for at least for some time, probably an hour or so, we'll just kind of stare at the fire as it lasts, and then, having already taken off the chainmail, because he is sore, he'll kind of bunch that up as a sort of extremely uncomfortable makeshift pillow, and kind of nod off eventually.
All right.
Alright, just to catch up, we left Altamore Cove. There's guards at the bridge, and we're going to Edrithia or Falstad?
You're headed toward Falstead right now. You've been tasked by the mayor to, one, warn them, two, warn the mayor of Falstead, the Lord Commander, about the First Empire that tried to kill Jareth, the mayor of Altamore Cove. And also, third, Lady Galena needed a letter delivered to Bulwer Keep. And you were tasked with delivering it most of the way, if not all the way.
We're going to show up and that town's going to be destroyed.
You don't know that. We thought that about Altamore Cove, remember?
Everyone's resting at the X right now, right?
Yes.
And
Yes,
I'm with them. Okay.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Oh, and Rede is having a crisis, so we're trying to console him with that.
He's not the only one having a crisis. I think a couple of us are.
Okay.
So we're doing a long rest.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, you've had a full
I'm
day of
gonna
travel
cast-
now.
I'm gonna cast Goodberry twice and keep them
Okay.
in a pouch.
All right. Excellent.
And I'm gonna try to roast one like a marshmallow in the campfire.
Did we light a
Okay.
fire?
A small
Yeah, I think
fire.
we lit a small fire.
Alright.
All right. You guys all turn in. Pip is sort of keeping watch for right now.
Yes, absolutely.
Some of you guys cycle through the night for watch.
Yes, I wanted to say that before I'll go to sleep. We arranged for a 2-hour watch for each of us.
Yeah. So you guys wake up in the morning. Nothing adverse happens, and you guys continue on your way. And let's see.
And after a good night's sleep, the paladin doesn't seem quite so broody.
Little perspective given.
Little bit.
Yes, exactly. You guys reach that X throughout the day, and as you sort of this large forest on your left-hand side as you're traveling continues to grow bigger, and as you breach hills and whatnot, you can see it's quite large. You guys get to an inn for the night, and by all reports that you had heard gathering supplies or talking to townsfolk beforehand, this inn was supposed to be a nice establishment that was well serviced. Plenty of people would come by, and it seems like it has fallen on hard times, to say the least. Rede, a few days before, as you had come this way, it did not look like this. And yes,
You like it had
Like, not this damaged, or
not this shabby. It had a different air about it. It was more lively. There wasn't, tattered awnings or whatnot.
sounds like we have a place that could use a bard.
Sounds like a place that has an actual bed.
Sounds like it's a place that
Listen.
needs an exorcism.
I can heal. I can bring merriment to a place, but I can't take care of this.
I'm gonna.
Good.
Oh shit. I'm gonna let the party know that I have quite a bad feeling about this place.
Hockey,
I feel fine.
Hockey, what time of day is it?
It's getting on into the evening. It's getting a
I'm
little
gonna
darker.
cast mage armor.
Okay.
Well, lads, there's a light in the window and a sign for an inn. I think we should try turning in here for the night.
Reed kind of frowns and looks at the place and goes, "I passed this on the way to Altamore Cove before I met you all. This doesn't seem right. This doesn't feel right. This is not what it seemed like when I first passed. It seemed a lot happier, kind of as we had heard of it. This doesn't seem like the type of change I'd expect over just a couple of days."
That is pretty odd. Well, still, an inn is an inn, so if anything, we can ask around and see.
Could it be an illusion, maybe?
It's a big illusion if I've ever seen one.
Zixo, do you know if this could be some form of illusion?
Unfortunately, I don't have anything, the ability to dispel any illusions. I could try to disbelieve it, and I kind of squint my eyes and look at it in a funny face. Or it may have been an illusion before.
But an illusion that has lasted for years, and that doesn't seem right.
I think
If
you guys
the
might be.
person alive had died, and
Well, we also might be overthinking it.
I really do think you guys are being a bit paranoid. Like, after all, being parts of wars and whatnot is definitely taxing on the mind.
All right, Adrik, I'll give you that. I've seen worse places that I've performed in.
Is there a
seems...
place for like the horses to go?
Yeah,
sure
there's a sort of a, what's it called? Not a
probably have
stable, but it's the bar, the wood thing that you tie the reins around.
post?
Yeah, a post.
yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, well, I'll tie my horse in the post then.
You don't have a horse, or did you
He
pick
did.
up a horse?
He
You did.
picked
I pick up a horse. Yeah.
Okay,
I
I
mean,
wasn't sure.
I bought one.
hey guys,
Yo.
Pip is telling me that there's some trouble nearby.
How
There's an
nearby?
influence nearby. It is not here, but it's nearby. And I asked Pip to fly off in that direction to show us which way and to
Wait.
tell me how far he thinks it is.
She hesitates. She doesn't want to do it.
Okay. Will she kind of point though in the direction?
Yeah, she indicates into the forest.
Okay, I put her safely back into her nest.
Hmm.
It's that way, guys.
I'm gonna start.
What is that way? You're very
We
vague
don't
about that.
know yet.
I'm gonna
All
start.
I know is that there is an influence nearby.
I'm gonna start looking through.
Good or bad? I mean,
Start-
I
start
assume
see if
bad.
see
It
things
is
like
bad.
illusions and spheres of influence or anything.
What are you trying to do? Sorry.
Looking through the Edrithian horror book, like I'm just skimming over it, trying to find anything about like spheres of influence, illusions.
You see the name of the inn. The sign says the Golden Seagull, and it sort of tips your mind off. You remember seeing a little blurb about this in your book, The Edrithian Horrors. In the book, it mentions in the section of potential entities, it speaks of some weird happenings around this forest that's nearby here, and mentioned specifically the Golden Seagull. Nobody here had ever corroborated any of these stories. It mentions people hearing whispers in their minds, people waking up in cold sweat but not remembering any dream, others that would sleepwalk, but nobody that owns this inn would ever say that they had experienced it or anything like that.
Obviously.
Perfect. There you go.
Wow, the line is a lot thinner, and then when you let go of thick, it almost doubles in size. So
You
it's a
can
little-
choose, if you choose the freehand, you can choose thin.
Well, I already got this far, so we're going to call that great.
There you go.
So,
Golden Seagull.
I
Apparently
motioned to the
this
party.
happened before.
Do we want to go check out the influence, or
Let's check the.
I don't know.
Well, that pseudo-dragon hasn't let us awry yet, so...
It's getting
Check.
dark at this point.
Let's go quickly.
Go looking through a
You're
forest.
going to where Pip indicated.
Yeah, I'm hopefully. I'm not going first, but I want my party to go.
I'm
As you guys
going-
are speaking about this, Pip becomes agitated, and in your mind, Zixo, she mentions that it's a ways away and it's in the dark forest, and she doesn't want to go if you go.
Oh, then I tell you guys, you know what? We may have to wait till morning. Okay, let's scout it out then in the inn and get some intel, and then we can tackle it during daylight.
So what you're
Oh.
saying is we should go into the inn.
Yes, it sounds like this may be empowered by darkness. Pip is very scared.
All right,
I'm
now.
going towards the inn.
Reed kind of glances at you and
sorry.
says, "Does Pip have any strong feelings about the inn itself?"
No,
I think she'd rather stay here at the inn than go into the forest.
Now you're speaking my language.
Yeah, it's common.
Do you want to fight Dretan? Because probably will.
Bring it, you bearded prick.
Reed will kind of tie up his horse nearby, and makes sure that he has his hand near his weapon. He is not sure about this place. He is not happy with this.
Okay.
I'm gonna say no.
Yeah.
You don't. We're not gonna just tie our horses. We have to take the saddles off, strap them down, take care of them, feed them.
I am going to. I will tie the donkey to the post because I will come back to take care of that.
Okay.
Because if
Oh,
something
yeah.
bad is happening here,
Yeah,
I want that
All
thing
right.
yeah.
ready
Reed
to
looks
go.
over to Zixo.
I
and then
tell
kinda-
you guys that I'm gonna stay out here with the animals if you guys want to go inside, and we'll
Yeah.
stay up, kind of watch everything, and you can figure out what's going on inside.
All right,
The pa-
bye, Felicia.
The Paladin nods.
Yep,
Like, I'm
done.
not sure I want to stay here. I'd like to scout it out first.
As you guys are discussing this, sort of in the courtyard, in the front yard, the door opens slightly, and a head sort of pops out, and then it opens all the way, and there's a half elf that greets you, a male half elf. This wave of smells comes out. There's bright light and warmth inside the door, and you guys smell some fresh bread, and behind the door, sort of hiding still behind the door, is a human woman. And the half elf sort of raises his hands grandly and says, "Oh, gentlemen, welcome to the Golden Seagull. Please, come in. Yes."
Don't mind if I do, friend.
The,
See, guys, you
I'm-
felt a little itchy about this, but it's more than all right.
and he indicates,
I'm gonna-
Ariana, please bring some of that bread out for our gentlemen. Ed, you got drinks all around?
Of
And
course.
bring some drinks too. He doesn't even wait for you guys to say anything.
I'm gonna feed my horse a good berry, and
Okay.
I want him ready to go. I
Alright.
still want him ready to go. So I'm gonna follow Adrik in after that.
All right. You guys go inside. The inside of the inn is
I'm gonna go inside the inn.
okay. The inside of the inn, like I said, is bright and warm, but it is empty. The tables are nicely set. There's a fire going in the hearth. You can see the door to the kitchen. That's where the smell of the bread is coming from. It's quiet. Nobody's moving. Nothing's going on. And
Hey, friend, what's never seen an inn that was this dead on a night like this. What's the story behind this place?
You have not traveled long enough, my friend. Places like this usually don't get much patrons during times of distress and war.
And the half elf is nodding his head. Yes. No, this is quite unusual. Usually we at this time of night we have at least a few patrons or a caravan or two, but the last couple days of and he sort of his facade drops a little bit, and you can see this wariness set in. It's been a little difficult to keep travelers here. Yes, but you guys are most welcome. We have rooms of every sort and beds of different shapes and sizes for the small folk as well as you big folk, and we are more than happy to accommodate you, even at a discount. We need to fill our rooms.
I will pay full price.
Oh, thank you, good sir. Thank you.
I'm gonna whisper to the party. We may need 2 people in each room.
Well,
Unless
if I remember correctly, I shared my room with 4 people, so I'm going with my own bed tonight. What are the rates in these parts?
Oh, for you gentlemen, I will only charge 1 gold piece a room.
1 gold piece. Well, that is more than kind.
What is the full price?
Oh, good sir. Usually we charged 2 gold pieces, but you don't feel obligated.
I've seen more than my fair share of inns and taverns fall because of wars and other wrongdoings. I'm certain that this place is only on the hard part of its life, and I'd be glad to help it along. And I pull out 3 gold coins and I hand it to him.
Thank you, Master Halfling. Thank you.
So, friend, I smell bread, and I'm hungry. How many loaves you got back there to spare?
Oh, as many as you need, Master Dwarf.
Well, I'm thinking I need 6 rolls of bread.
What else does he? I'm gonna ask him what sort of other food does he have.
Just bread, no protein or beer. Just bread.
Hockey, don't fucking do that to me, man.
He says, "Oh, we have some stew. We have some stew left over from yesterday. We've got a couple small meat pies if you'd like that. My whole menu is open to you."
I would
Stew
like
does
a couple of
sound
meat
pretty good.
pies and some bread.
Okay. You want some stew, Adrik?
Yes, I do. Along with 6 loaves of bread. I wasn't kidding.
Excellent. 6 loaves. Okay, I'll bring that out. Any drinks for you, gentlemen? Any drinks? We've got a round coming, and I've got more after that.
Just some water for me, which is... I learned my lesson after a thing and a half of Troll's Bane. I'm kind of backing off from the ale.
Okay.
Hockey. I'd like
Yes,
to
sir.
cast Detect Thoughts outside,
Okay.
and I want to. I think I can go through the window easily to him, and I want to detect his thoughts through the window.
Okay. You do so, and you see him bustling around, and in his head, he's excited. He has patrons. He was worried.
Okay, now I want to go to his wife.
Okay. You can't see his wife. His wife's in the kitchen.
I know, but my mind can see her. No, I can go through walls and stuff.
Okay. The wife is back there, and she is on the edge of hysteria. She's quite worried about their circumstances. She was, in her mind, she's thinking, why don't we just move? This is too much. We shouldn't have to deal with this.
What is she worried about? What's threatening their circumstances?
It's not on the surface of her thoughts.
Okay, I'm going to move away, and I'm going to listen to Pip, and I'm going to ask, can I hear what? And do I hear any whispers?
You do not.
I'm going to tell her no and ask her if she can tell me what the whispers are saying.
Okay. Inside the inn, the innkeeper brings back the meal and the ale, and he introduces himself as Bavar Macalis. He's owned this inn for the last year and a half. He bought it from the previous owner, and he's living his dream of maintaining an inn and a tavern, and up until just recently, it has been going quite well. And he sort of just has some small talk for you, and then excuses himself and heads to the kitchen.
But you're searching. Like,
Right. So how much do I owe this guy?
He hasn't asked for any money yet.
Oh,
Because he's a pretty swell fellow that's glad to see folks.
Reed definitely looks
Nope,
troubled, and he kind of he's gonna look kind of
Yeah, it's only within
speculatively
30 feet of me. So I can only detect mines within 30 feet of me.
Yep. You only detect the ones that you know of.
Okay, then it runs out and it's done.
And
How much food did I just buy?
I'm gonna offer Reed some bread.
He
He names
he
the horse
definitely takes a
Reed?
handful, but he kind of looks at it like,
Oh.
you know, a little bit
12 copper.
Oh, hey,
pieces,
that's-
1 silver, 2 copper.
He kind of looks at it for a moment and then glances around and just kind of says, "I'm still feeling a little bit uneasy. I'm kind of curious. He said this sort of thing changed just a couple of days ago, didn't he?"
Yeah, but it might have something to do with the presence in the forest. Who knows?
I'm kind of curious if he knows anything.
How? 1 second. Keep going. You guys keep going.
Well, if he doesn't know something, I'm pretty sure he wouldn't want to scare away his customers.
By the way, Hockey, I'm like looking all
Gonna
around.
take a bit of a work. Are we the only ones in the tavern right now?
Yes.
Okay.
I believe that's what he said.
After a few moments,
The
Reed
common
started
room.
eating.
The common room is empty. Sorry. Go ahead.
To
Reed.
those who are
Fair
looking,
enough.
like to those who are like sitting around and you see Dretan, he's like walking around the place, like looking frantically.
Reed glances over, you know, chews a couple times, and then, kind of with his mouth full, says, "Is there something wrong?"
I'm hearing something.
Up go the eyebrows.
Finally go
I
nuts.
say
out
Pip
there.
is hearing something too.
Are you inside now, Zixo?
Oh, I don't know how long did it take. I was gonna take care of the horses, make them water and fed. So if they're getting their food and drink, I might be there by now. If not, then I'm not.
Okay. Yeah. No. You. There's been enough time. You're efficient and quick.
I'm hearing. What is Pip hearing? Zixo?
She said whispers. I asked if she knew if she could repeat those whispers, but she did not reply.
She can't repeat them. They're too low to be heard.
Can I ask what the town is hearing? Or is it just whispers as well?
It's just whispers, friend. And
Incessant and all over.
I have not heard anything yet.
well then, if these whispers want to garner my attention, they have it. Why not perform for them? And I break out my violin and I begin playing.
Okay.
Reed,
And,
do you detect anything that's evil nearby?
He paused for a second and says, "You know, I mean, I'm uneasy, but from what I've heard, I should be able to. But I
Hockey,
don't.
What did the music stop?
I don't detect. I'm not feeling anything. Just vague unease. Just I guess from the way this place looks."
Hang on. Do
What
you
was that,
guys
Japan?
feel sleepy?
I asked why the music stopped.
Oh, I didn't put it on repeat. It
Oh,
just
Okay.
ran out.
Yeah.
That would
by
have
the way,
been
that did
very thematic, though. That would have been awesome.
The music
Roll a
did run out
Constitution
about
save.
5 minutes ago.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask if the others feel sleepy.
Yeah, but that's because I've been running the road for the entire day. I mean, I'd be surprised if you weren't a little bit tired.
And the
Elessar.
Reed, though, just shakes his head and kind of looks at you and says, like, how sleepy?
I don't know, maybe just out of nowhere. Like, maybe magic influenced?
That's very specific. Are you feeling all right?
No, I'm feeling fine. And I'm
gonna
munching
start
on like a
calling
pie.
out the bar.
But
What was
I'm
that?
worried about Pip and Dretan.
I'm calling out for Bavar right now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, as soon as he starts hearing your music, the innkeeper pokes his head out and, with a smile, starts clapping along and is quite happy you're trying to lighten the mood.
Bavar, Well, this is
Yes,
very
sir.
nice of you to do. Do explain to me why I'm hearing these things.
Hearing what things, Master Halfling?
From what I understand, this place has a certain history, and I'm just like just playing away, but it's not as audible. It's kind of low. From what I understand, this place has a certain history. Whispers.
Yes.
Affinities, stuff like that. Have you ever figured out why?
No, we haven't had any problems here. And he his eyes sort of shift back and forth, and he says, "No, the travelers recently have complained of hearing noises and perhaps thinking things are there that are not. Like I said, we've been here an entire year and there hasn't been any incidents." Psycho, your insight, you can tell this half elf is he's being honest, as honest as he thinks. He also has a certain streak of stubbornness where he's perhaps not willing to believe what's going on around him.
Now, this may be my own psychosis, or it may be something else, but I can hear things.
And when you say that, the door to the kitchen cracks open and you see his wife looking at you. He says, what things? What are you hearing?
Whispers. And that's when I stopped playing.
And his wife comes fully out of the door. She says, whispers that you can't quite understand?
I could probably understand them, but they're too quiet. Now listen, Bevar. I might be able to help you, but you need to be honest with me. Has anything changed since the last couple of days?
He sort of again shifts his eyes around and says, "No, it's been normal."
At about this time, Rede kind of looks up and he says, "It doesn't seem normal. I passed this way a few days ago, and there's definitely a different feel about this entire area."
Well, be that as it may, Master, it's been the same as it always is. I don't know why people keep saying they hear things or think that they feel that there's things around. I don't know why they would say that.
Interrupting. So you're saying other people are talking about whispers, and the smile just leaves my face.
And he says, "Oh, I'm sure it's nothing. I'm sure it's just the wind through rafters. I after the season is over, I'll have to get it repaired. It's nothing. It's nothing."
Friend, there are some very strange things happening, and I'm not one for being surprised, because surprises gets adventurers like us killed. Now, if there's something we need to know, would you please just tell us?
Well, and his wife chimes in. And she says, "Oh, Bafar, you're endangering people's lives here now." And she turns to all of you and she says, there was a thing in the forest just a day or two past."
A thing?
Yes, a thing. It's something fell from the sky.
Up go the eyebrows, and can you describe it?
It was like the gods themselves had thrown a rock to the earth. It made such a horrible noise, and ever since then, I've had these whispers just on the edge of my hearing. I can't get them out of my head.
So at around this point, Rede kind of gets himself out from behind the table and kind of moves over to her, reaching out as if to touch her and steady her, and says, "Can you tell me in what direction that fell? Because you seem to know a lot more about it than I'd expect."
And she points in a direct straight line behind her through the door in the direction that Pip had indicated. Almost like she has a beeline directly to it.
in response to which Rede turns to look at Zixo as if to confirm that very same thing.
And Zixo nods, yes.
Bavar, your wife has told you this a couple of times now, I assume, and you haven't believed her once.
No, this Ariana, this is causing problems. There's nothing. There was a loud crash and it's probably just a tree falling over. Everything is all right.
If it was nothing, then I wouldn't be on edge right now.
And your tavern would be filled with happy people.
And he sort of works his mouth a little bit, just opening and closing like a fish. He has nothing to say to that. He just.
Well, listen, we're not trying to wreck your reputation or anything. We just
No, we'll stay here with you tonight. We'll keep this to ourselves, and I think that we're going to check it out in the morning, right, guys?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's what we're planning. Because
all right, so we won't tell anybody about this, and hopefully we can check it out, and you can just make us a good last breakfast, I guess.
And his shoulders just slump as he has this big sigh, and his wife clasps her hands, just her eyes shining. She's just extremely hopeful, and you've alleviated their fears. They now believe you are going to fix everything.
It is okay if my my Zoe comes in tonight, right? She always stays with me.
Of course, anything. If there's room, we'd have the horses in here too.
What about
I go get Zoe.
go get the horse.
I don't think there's room.
I asked.
The donkey might fit inside.
Yes, but donkeys aren't house trained. Zoe is.
Not our house.
Fair enough.
The Tad could have house trained him. You never know.
Not on the way up here. Not in a single fucking day. All right, listen. This is different. During my travels, I collect stories and whatnot, but this has never happened before, so I have no information on what is coming next. So I suggest a plan.
All right, let's hear.
What has happened over the past nights when your guests stay here? Anything happened to them?
No, they usually end up waking up sometimes in the middle of the night, sometimes early in the morning, and just pack their things and settle their account and leave. They all leave very quickly and hurriedly.
I'm gonna ask, do they still look tired?
Oh, yeah. Tired is so relative. There's a few that look maybe a little haggard, but they were haggard to begin with. There were a few who seemed rested.
Kind of on a different tack, Rede kind of looks up and says, "You said you opened here a year ago, right?"
Oh, I bought it from the previous owner a year ago.
Why did the previous owner leave?
Oh, something to do with moving back to the city to be close to his family. I'm not certain. He was ready to retire and help raise his grandchildren.
Rede kind of nods and kind of abandons that line of thought. At least suspicion's not filled in.
Right, I'm gonna ask him, what is there anything different from the travelers from a few days ago when this started happening compared to the ones that visited your tavern beforehand?
No,
do they look more rested, or
the travelers are all? Oh, you mean as far as rested? Well, there was one group who seemed quite rested. It was a group of priests. They came through from down south and traveled northward to Edrithia, and they seemed to not mention any of the whisperings. They were the ones who made me doubt everybody else, because they were the ones who didn't claim to hear anything.
Rede turns to...
I'm sorry, back up. Who did you say didn't say that?
The priests.
priests?
The purple priests?
Purple? No,
Him.
no. They were the priests of men of the cloth, the Cormon's priests.
And Rede at this moment kind of turns to Adrik and says, "Adrik, are you hearing any whispers?"
Is there anything that I would do to out of character? Is there anything I would do to see if I heard whispers or not, or would there be a reason for?
You can roll perception.
Yeah, why not?
Have the whispers gotten louder, by the way, or are they still the same, like low?
So, do I hear any low, ominous rumbling?
You do not hear any whispers.
I don't hear.
do the same?
I don't hear anything,
Go ahead.
Reed.
Yeah,
but,
roll perception.
Obviously, this woman seems to be frightened and something's up.
You strain your elf ears, and you do not hear any whispers either.
And then Reed, once he gets the answer from Adrik, then turns to the elf friend and says, "Do you hear any whispers?"
No, I do not.
And then at that moment he asks, I don't think I've asked before, do you have any connections to any of your gods?
Me?
Who, me?
Yes, you.
No. I don't think druids follow a god. Do they? Out of character.
They follow the all nature.
Yeah,
or
you can.
follow a god. You can do both.
Yeah, this is Reed.
I
This is
don't
Reed
follow
going off
God.
on a theory. And then
Yeah, no, the religion in this world is very much only tied to the divine power of paladins and clerics.
Yeah.
Anybody else can follow whatever god. And
then Reed just kind of looks thoughtful and he says, I'm just kind of curious. You said that, men of the cloth were the ones that didn't hear anything. Nor do I, and nor does the cleric with us.
Nor does the little gnome with you. Only his dragon does.
Excuse you. I'm starting to feel slightly nuts. It's not
And the
laughing
tan there.
here.
It's only the tan and Pip that's feeling it.
Yeah, that's okay, Dretan. Pip confirmed you, so you're safe. You're not sick.
And that doesn't seem to be where Reed's going with it as he turns to the wife and he says, you mentioned that when this fell from the sky, you specifically said, as if brought by the gods, why would you think of them suddenly?
who are you asking that to?
The wife.
Oh. And she says, because it fell almost straight down from the sky in the fiery blaze. Where else would it come from?
And Reed just kind of pauses for a moment. He thinks and he says, well, gods are not the only things that fly. There are demons and fiends and even wizards that cast bad spells.
And she shudders, and Bavar gives you a look. Bavar gives you a look almost like, why are you trying to scare my wife further?
Yeah, and the gnome is giving you a bad look too. Meteor Strike is a perfectly good spell.
And Reed gives Zixo a withering look, and he says, I'm just kind of curious why it's specifically priests that didn't hear it the first time, and gods were brought up just before that. I'm curious if there's a connection.
Because they're blessed.
I don't know.
I'm curious why it doesn't affect me though, because I'm a druid.
Or the gnome, the wizard.
And Reed slowly
Well,
kind of
it
nods
may,
and lapses into silence at that point.
We could think about this for hours.
It
Fact
may
of the matter
only
is, we
amplify
won't get an
the
answer.
thoughts of non-good people. Maybe.
Calling you a bad person.
No,
Chris.
because
Yeah.
my dragon and I are the same alignment.
I have a suggestion.
We
not gonna
probably
get,
need to sleep on it.
We're not going to get any information from just wild guessing.
At this kind of,
Yeah,
I think we
currently
need to rest.
Two people that are hearing these, as far as I know right now, is me and Pip.
And the wife.
And the wife, excuse me. My apologies.
Does she look like she got a good night's sleep last night?
The wife?
Yes.
No, it looks like she probably hasn't slept in 2 or 3 days.
Yeah, you guys, we're in trouble. We gotta fix this for these.
and Reed
Those of us
nods.
who can get sleep tonight, you're gonna get some sleep. Those of us can't.
I'm going to try.
Then returns to
I will
the
take-
wife one more time and says, the direction that you pointed, which I think looks like the kitchen, is there a back door out of there?
Oh yes, we've got a back area with our dry goods back there and whatnot.
And Reed turns and looks at the others and says, if we are going to be sleeping here, I think we need to be watching that door, if that's the direct place that that she says the whispers are coming from.
They're not coming from one place. They're all around.
Right, but I think the source is coming from where the strike hit.
Well, obviously, but it's not like they're wafting in through a single doorway.
I think we just have to wait for dawn, and then we can set out with a good light.
Oh, I agree.
I agree. I'm gonna sleep for the first 4 hours.
Take your armor off. Yeah, all you guys take your armor off.
Absolutely.
All right, I'm gonna take first watch then, and they can try and get sleep. So Psycho can try and get sleep. Not Psycho. I think Dretan has to get sleep.
Yes, I'm gonna try. I doubt it's gonna happen. God damn it, Hockey.
Especially with the creepy music in the background.
Yeah, damn it, Hockey.
Be sleeping to that creepy music in the background. I want to see that happen.
It's my first encounter of this sort, though, so I'm kind of enjoying it.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm kind of enjoying it. All right,
Okay.
so I think.
So you guys are retiring to go to sleep?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Okay.
Pip and
Zixo's on first watch?
Yeah, Pip and Zixo will take first watch because Pip is fully rested from the full day travel.
Okay. Are you in
Alright,
separate rooms? Are you in the main room? Are you where are you guys staying?
I'll be in
Well,
the main
I
room.
rented a room.
I'm gonna stay. On my watch, I'm gonna stay outside Dretan's door.
What if there's like stairs up to rooms, I'm gonna be at the top of the stairs looking down and down the hall so I can get a crosswise view, a sentry view kind of.
So
With the
you're
dog
staying
and the
outside
dragon.
in the hall.
Outside the room in the hall.
Okay.
Yeah, in the hall. Keeping an eye.
And Rede will go ahead and rent a room, but he's gonna sleep in it with the door open.
I'll be watching. Yeah,
obviously armor off.
we'll be on patrol. Looking outside, soft padded.
When you do that, Reed, I sheepishly ask you if I could stay in your room for the night.
Rede kind of glances at you before nodding and kind of gesturing to the room.